Hey y'all. Okay, so it's Sunday, August the 29th, which is my sister's birthday. Shout out to sister. And as I'm sitting up here washing my hair, I start to literally have a conversation with myself, and I do it all the time, honestly. There's no shame in my game. I talk to myself because I gotta be the referee in this mind. So I talk to myself a lot. But as I am sitting up here washing my hair, I start to give myself the talk about, trusting God, surrendering all that stuff. And I got to the point of where I have to be comfortable. You know how when you don't know who you are, you will do anything to fit in. And that is very dangerous because there are people around you who knows that this girl isn't mentally stable. She just wants to belong. She'll do anything. And when you'll do anything, you make yourself available for everything. And it's just I want to be to that point where I wasn't trying to fit in. I want to get to that point where I make a place for me to fit in without what's the word, without being.
Carl, my fault. I ain't no use.
That's my brother. I want to be to the point where I'm not trying to fit in. I want to make my space without defiling myself, without being someone I'm not, but being genuinely me, who I am at my core, what God has called me to do. And I think that's very important because, like I said, when you don't know who you are and when you're trying to fit into places, you will do anything. And when you'll do anything, you will start to give up on, you will start to give yourself away. You will start to leave yourself at places. And when you look up and you're just like, how did I get here? How did I get here? How did I get here? It's because I started to do any and everything just to be where I wasn't called to be. That's not my place. Which brings me to the point of staying in your lane, as people would say. But it's just people think that when they are saying stay in your lane, that is something so bad. But it's just no. In your lane is where you're called to win. In your lane is who can do you better than you? There's a reason why there's only one you and there's no twin of you. There's no triplet of you. I know people will have twins and triplets, but they're not the same. You may have someone that looks similar to you or could look exactly like you, but they're not you. So who can do you better than you? Nobody. So the value in knowing who you are and not trying to fit in, but make a lane. I feel that it's better to be that person that creates a space for themselves than to try to either shrink yourself into a lane or try to expand yourself and burn yourself out to be in someone else's lane. Being in a lane where you shine, where you do you, where you don't have to conform to anyone or anything. You can be you. If you live life more, you're able to breathe. And on top of that, you can be you. Who wants to have to be shrinking around people who feel like you have to be a certain way or you have to do a certain thing? Why not have people around you who say, hey, that's not you? Why not have people who believe in what you believe about yourself? I feel like it's so genuine, it's so important. And honestly, when you are being you, you are taking care of you. You don't know who you are until you go on a journey and you find out who is you. And sometimes that journey will require you to let people go. Sometimes that journey will require, most of the time, that journey will have you shedding off layers that was never you. But it's just someone you pretended to be. And as you, I want to wash my hands, but that'll create a lot of water, a lot of noise. But what I'm saying is, the more layers that you take off of what's not you, you become lighter. And the more, I can speak for me, the more layers I took off that wasn't me, yes, I felt much lighter. I felt more light. Like I felt like I was a light. Like I am the light, you know? And also, I actually started to like the person I'm becoming. Like, just because I don't fit in for someone, I don't feel the urge to shrink back. Why? Because I'm coming to know who I am and I'm loving that person. So, what am I saying here? Getting to know you, and as you get to know you, you start to be true to you and honest to you, and really live in your lane, live in your purpose, do what works for you and not what works for someone else. Learn to love the person who you are, because you're going to live with that person. So it's either you're going to pretend and you have to pretend for the rest of your life, or you're going to wake up and say, this is not me, and let me find out who I am. Because the person who you become is the person you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. So it's like you have to make the decision on what really matters to you. You being free or you being bound. What's it going to be? So all that to say, take that journey to find out who you are and love who you are, because you only get one you and you only live once. So make it worth living. Make it worth living. So get up and get at it, get about it. What is it that you really want to do in life? Doesn't matter if no one else sees it or thinks that you can do it. It can be so left field. You know, people be like, I never thought you would actually do that. And that's okay, because you never really knew the real me. So let's get to moving. Let's get to moving. What you want to do, your dreams, speak on it. Give life to what you want to see. Speak what you want to see. Just because you don't see something doesn't mean that it's not attainable. It just means it needs to be created. So, I'm in camp. Thanks for coming in on my little wash day and my little rant. But seriously, be you, stay true to you, and love who you're becoming. Bye.